All right, welcome back. Episode 4. We made it. Another episode, another day. Um, this is a rare treat for y'all. Y'all got 2 episodes in 1 week. Last episode was the Dream Chasers. This episode is going in a little bit of a different direction. More for the sports fans out there in the world of the I'm Not a Hater podcast. Um, this one is about the season that's popping up, or coming up, I should say, the NFL season. So this is going to be one of them ones. I'm going to drop my picks, let y'all know what these divisions is going to look like, um, let y'all know what the Super Bowl going to look like, and who I see as a potential MVP. Now, a disclaimer before this happens: if these picks don't go right, it's just my opinion. So don't see me in the street and try to be upset because you followed my picks and they didn't pan out. That's not my fault. I'm not a hater though. Just don't bother me if your picks don't turn out. This is how I feel about these divisions and so forth. Sporting a different look this week, as you can probably see. No hat, got on, frames, so we can see y'all and out there in that world, and y'all can see what I'm doing, looking like, and all that good stuff. But let's get right into it. So I'm gonna go from AFC. I'm gonna take it all the way down to the NFC, and then we're gonna go from there. All right. So if the AFC East is your division, listen up. This one is for you. All right. So the AFC East, I'm gonna start with them first. You got the Dolphins, the Patriots, the Jets, and the Bills. All good teams in the past. Now some of them have fallen off. Um, I got the Dolphins winning the division. Uh, but in the same breath, I got the wild card going to the Bills and the Jets, or the Jets, I should say. Um, the Dolphins have been the superior team over the past couple years with Tyreek Hill and Tua, and Waddle at the receivers, Mostert at the running back position. I don't see why they couldn't win the division again. They got an okay defense, so that carry them through. The Jets, if Aaron Rodgers wasn't 40 or close to being 41 by the time the season hits the playoff push, I could have picked them because they have a good offense and they have a superior defense. Um, the Bills are going to have a hard time. They're going to struggle, I think, without Stephon Diggs. He was the primary receiver, primary pass catcher for Josh Allen, and having to spread that work around. I don't know if they're going to be capable of winning enough games to do so. And the Patriots are in for rebuild mode, just keeping it a buck. Um, these are not your Bill Belichick and Tom Brady Patriots. These are the Patriots of Gerard Mayo and Drake May. Good luck, Patriots fans. It's going to be a long season. AFC North. Now, this is, in my opinion, the toughest division in football. You got the Ravens, the Steelers, the Browns, and the Bengals. The division winner, provided that everybody's healthy, Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson, etc., is the Ravens. I just feel like the combination of those two, running the ball, throwing the ball to Mark Andrews and Zay Flowers and all the receiver core that they have in Baltimore, um, they have no choice but to win that division. Um, Provided that Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase gets his contract right, and T. Higgins and the defense, I think the Bengals will probably be the wild card, another wild card in that division. Um, the Steelers, it's going to be tough for the Steelers because Russell Wilson, I almost called him Westbrook, but Russell Wilson um, is a veteran at this point. Um, they got the young boy Justin Fields. Like they want him to take over, but you know he still hasn't shown me that he can run a team successfully. In my opinion, right? Steelers fans, please don't be mad at me for the truth, but I just feel like he's not what a typical quarterback looks like. And I think they know that, which is why they tried to have him at kick returner and all these different other type of scenarios that he would come in the game for. But if you're gonna be a quarterback, you gotta have the ability to put the ball on the numbers for the receiver and make the right play. And he hasn't shown that he can make the right play. I don't know what the Browns are gonna look like. Truthfully, this is like Deshaun Watson's season to prove that he is worth the $230 million guaranteed contract that he has. I hope that he proves it, but it's gonna be difficult for him in Cleveland. Like I said, if Joe Burrow and them are healthy, they could probably overtake the Ravens, but I just see the Ravens getting off to a good enough start where they'll be able to coast through the division and they'll be able to win that outright. AFC West. Now, this is the easiest, probably easiest division to pick. Um, it's got the Chiefs, the Raiders, the Broncos, and the Chargers in it. Division winner, the Chiefs. No big surprise there. We all know that they won a division multiple seasons now in a row. They've won what 3 out of the last 4 Super Bowls. They're looking for a three-peat themselves. Um, Patrick Mahomes is ready. Travis Kelsey is off world tour with Taylor Swift. The defense looks like they're locked in. They're gonna have a good time in the AFC West against those teams. None of those other teams are of the same caliber as them right now. Um, I wanted to pick like the Raiders for my surprise team. I just don't know how Antonio Pierce is going to work with a full season under his belt. I don't know, but it might work for them. The Broncos with a rookie quarterback going to struggle. Um, the Chargers could possibly make the wild card because Harbaugh's not a rookie to being a coach in the NFL. He's done it before, so he knows what to do. I think with him and Herbert together, and um, I think they're gonna pull out some close wins. So I give that nod to the Chargers for sure. Um, but like I said, it's definitely the Chiefs' division to lose. And if they don't win it, I'd be shocked. But I feel like Andy and the boys got that. They got that locked. They got that ready, and they're gonna make that super easy over time. Like that division for them probably be a cakewalk. Um, but anything could happen. They could lose that division too if they play around. But I feel like they're focused on getting that three-peat. So, you know, they're gonna do what they need to do. Now, on to the AFC South. And I'm moving through this pretty quickly because this next division after them is the one that, I'm gonna spend a little bit of time on. It's my favorite division. But the AFC South, you got the Jaguars, the Titans, the Colts, and the Texans. Now, I thought about this one kind of for a while, and I'm like, who's gonna win? Who's gonna win this division? Who's gonna be tops in the AFC South? And after doing all the research and looking at it over time, I couldn't go against the Texans. CJ Stroud, Will Anderson, Coach D'Amico Ryans, he's got them pumped. He's got them poised to take over and do something big this year. Um, or a repeat of last year. And I think they'll go a little bit further in the playoffs this year. The surprise team for this division is going to be the Jaguars. I think this is the year that Trevor Lawrence proves that, he's an NFL quarterback. A lot of people have given him flack saying that he hasn't really shown improved. But if you think about it, over time, given time, Trevor's got the pieces behind him. He's got talent with him. He's got the running back ETN. He's got Christian Kirk, I believe, still. He's got some more receivers. And if they pull it together on the offensive side of the ball and tighten up the defense just a little bit, um, I think the Jaguars can make some noise. The Colts, they got the he's not a rookie anymore, but they got Richardson at the quarterback. The Titans, they lost Derrick Henry. Automatically, in my book, they're gonna struggle. Derrick Henry took a lot of heat off the quarterback. Um, so, Texans win the division. Jaguars surprise some people. Um, and make some noise this year. So if I go back over that for the AFC East, the Dolphins get in, probably end up being, number 2 overall seed, in the AFC. AFC North, the Ravens, they'll probably be, you know, number two, number three seed. AFC West, the Chiefs, of course, they'll probably be the number one seed. And then you get the wild card, you get the Jaguars, the Chargers, and the Bengals. There you go. All right. My favorite division, the NFC East. Got the Eagles, the Cowboys, the Giants, and the Commanders of Washington. So this pick is probably going to ruffle a lot of feathers out there in the world. But again, I'm not a hater, but I I don't care. My team is my team, and it is what it is. For the division winner, I got the Cowboys. Freedom boys. Yes, sir. No surprise here. I'm rocking the shirt. You can't really see it, but you can see the color. So how about them Cowboys? With Dak, CD, they got Ezekiel, Elliott back in the fold. They just picked up Dalvin Cook, little thunder and lightning combo. They are a little older, but I think it'll work. They got the kid Vaughn. He's also like a third down back, little speedy guy. Um, Tight ends. We got the offensive line. Uh, we missing my big guy, my tackle. Um, he's gone. I forget his name now. He's gone. Jeez, that's crazy. But he's gone. So we got to fill that void. But I feel like against everybody else in this division, we finished the strongest last year. We did get killed in the playoffs. Let's just keep it a buck, right? We did get killed in the playoffs. But the Eagles started out 10-1 and they finished 1-7. So who's mentally stronger? Us or the Eagles? Cowboys every time. Giants got their own struggles. Saquon left for the Eagles, right? So you lost your best player in the division, which is crazy. Wow. So the Giants ain't gonna do much. Commanders got, you know, Commanders got the rookie Jalen Daniels at the quarterback. But and McLaurin. McLaurin is nice on Madden, so that might translate to on the field success a little bit if he can get open. Um, But yeah, Cowboys head and shoulders above the rest of the division. Now, like I said prior to, if this don't pan out, man, I'm still gonna ride with my squad no matter what. But don't get mad at me, Eagles fans. Please don't send me any threatening messages because I said your team, isn't gonna win the division. I just feel like we just a better squad. Um, for what it's worth, I do have the Eagles in the wild card. If that makes y'all feel, better, but I just feel like we're gonna keep it together better than you guys at this point. I could be wrong, right? I could be wrong. Y'all could come out blazing again. 11-1, 12-1 this time. But you gotta finish strong. So let's see what happens then. But for right now, Cowboys all day. NFC North. This division is also pretty it's not easy to pick. I shouldn't say it's easy because you got the Lions, the Bears, the Packers, and the Vikings. The Vikings and the Bears, it's gonna be a struggle. Just pack it in for a long season. It's gonna happen. The Lions got a lot of expectations on their back after last season. They did well enough to make it to the NFC Championship game, so they have that on their back as being successful this year. Um, so let's see what they can do. Right, it's gonna be a big season for them to show and prove. Jared Goff and Amon St. Brown and the running backs that they got, Gibbs. It's going to be a big season for them to show what they can do. The Packers with Jordan Love and the crew, he's going to have to lead them again, kind of like a young Aaron Rodgers did like 20 years ago. He's going to have to lead them to another strong playoff run. They killed us being the Cowboys in the playoffs. So let's see what he could do this year with a whole season under his belt. Good luck to him. All right. One of the divisions I don't like. The NFC West. Let's talk about it. It's the 49ers, the Rams, the Seahawks, and the Cardinals. I'm not a 49ers fan in the least bit, but on the whole, they have the most complete team in the NFC. And that's just looking at it overall from Purdy to Debo to Christian McCaffrey. Ayuk is now in camp. or getting ready for the season, I should say. They got Kittle. They got talent. They got legit talent on that offensive side of the ball. The one part that they need to shore up is getting Trent Williams his money. If you get Trent Williams in the fold and blocking Purdy's left side, they definitely going to take it all. Take it as far as they can. Um, Without Trent Williams, they're gonna struggle because you're gonna just tee off on Purdy on that left side if you can, because that tackle ain't gonna be Trent Williams. Just understand the importance of the offensive line, folks. They protect your quarterback at all costs. Um, their defense is still pretty good. Um, if they play up to their ability and their capability and strengths, there's no reason why they can't be dominant and take it. Like I said, take it as far as they can. Take it to the Super Bowl even. Um, Runner up in this division is going to end up being the Rams, probably by default. Seahawks, they're okay. Metcalf still going to put up numbers. Geno put up numbers, but I don't see them winning a lot of games. The Cardinals, by default, will probably be, you know, one of the weaker teams in this division. But the runner up for this division is kind of up for grabs. It could be the Rams, or it could be the Cardinals, or it could be the Seahawks. Um, if any one of them get hot, but I feel like the 49ers are going to be head and shoulders above everybody else in that division, and probably the entire NFC for that matter. The NFC South, here we go. Teams include the Buccaneers, the Falcons, and the Saints, and the Panthers. All right. This division has gone through a lot in the past couple of years. You had the Buccaneers had a dominant stretch for a few years. Um, Before that, you had the Falcons. They were running through. The Saints had their little run. Panthers had a run. Each team in this division has had a run. I think it's time for some new blood to come back around. So for this division, I'm going to pick the Falcons to win. And before my family in Georgia, preferably Atlanta, starts, you know, the parade on Peachtree, right? 2025. Before they get to that point, they're gonna win the division. They may make a nice run in the playoffs, maybe one game, maybe two, maybe. No parade on Peachtree though. I see them winning the division kind of by default. Um, you don't know what Baker's gonna do as the full time starter, even though he had a good season last season. They did make the playoffs. I just see them not being as strong. Um, I see the Saints struggling a little bit, and the Panthers still a work in progress. Bryce Young, he will be better. I can guarantee he'll be better in his second season. He'll be able to read the defenses and see the gaps that the linebackers and the blitz packages that are coming at him. Um, he will be able to see that, right? Um, but I just feel like they're still gonna struggle to put wins together because they won't know how to close the games out. They're going to have a lot of 16-13 games or 13-7 or 13-10 type games. Won't be no extreme blowouts, but I just feel like they won't know how to close those games, and that will hamper their success. Um, and that's just how I feel about the NFC South. Like, the Falcons are going to have a little bit of a stretch run here for a couple years. I think they got enough offensive talent around them to do so repeatedly. Barring any significant injuries, energy injuries. I feel like the Falcons could run off like a 11 win, 12 win season, in my estimation. Again, I could be wrong, and maybe their low point might be 10 or 9 wins, but that'll still do enough in that division. 9 to 12 wins will win that division for them every time. So again, the NFC East, I got the Cowboys winning the division with the Eagles coming in a close second. The NFC North, I got the Lions winning the division. Packers coming in a close second. They might overtake them, but I got the Lions. The NFC West, I got the 49ers. The Rams will be a few games behind, but they'll do enough to come in second. And then the NFC South, I have the Falcons winning, and no team in that division coming up with the wild card. All right, so let's get down to the part that everybody wants to hear, the Super Bowl pick. Now, I put it all together. The AFC Championship game will end up being the Chiefs and the Raiders in the rematch of last year. At that point, I feel as though the Ravens are going to take it. I just feel like that whole three-peat is going to be so difficult, and Lamar Jackson, that is, Mr. Reigning MVP, is going to be on his game this time. And he's not going to let his team lose as they did last time. So, with that being said, I feel like he's going to get the best of Pat Mahomes and Travis Kelsey this time. And he'll come up big and make it to the Super Bowl. As far as the NFC, got the NFC Championship game being the 49ers and a rematch. No, not a rematch. I'm sorry. Somehow, some way, and this is going to contradict everything I said earlier, but somehow, some way, Mr. Jalen Hurts and the Eagles make it to the NFC Championship game. I know you're going to be like, what? How? But stranger things have happened, right? So they'll end up being the wild card. They'll probably face, like, the Falcons or something. Catch the Falcons sleeping. Boom. They move to the next round. Then let's say they end up playing the Lions or something like that, right? Because truthfully, even though I say the Cowboys win the division and they make it to the playoffs, we always find a way to mess it up in the playoffs. And most Cowboys fans will agree. We find a way to screw it up in the playoffs every year, every time. And that's the part that makes me so upset as a Cowboys fan. And it's so difficult being a Cowboys fan because I know in my heart of hearts, I want to pick them for the Super Bowl, but I just can't trust it because I know they're going to make a mistake. It's going to be a giant mistake. They're going to do something where we don't. What have we done in the past? Not gotten the ball back to the ref on time. We had a catch. They said it wasn't a catch. Um, yep, remembering Daz the whole time. 88, baby. Um, we've done everything that we could possibly do to, to lose in the playoffs. So that's why I didn't pick them. Um, Eagles get to the NFC Championship game against the 49ers. Purdy versus Hurts again, because they've already played each other once. Um, Truthfully, I feel like the Niners win again. And the Super Bowl 59 in Louisiana will end up being the Ravens versus the 49ers. After careful consideration, how that game goes, I see Purdy and the offensive weapons of the Niners being just too much to handle for the Ravens and Lamar. And they end up beating the Ravens in the Super Bowl. So the 49ers finally get their Super Bowl after what, 3-4 seasons straight of making the playoffs and getting to the big dance and all that good stuff. They finally get over the hump, and 49ers fans rejoice. They finally get a Super Bowl by my estimation, right? Because anything could happen. Super Bowl MVP is going to go to Brock Purdy, of course, right? No matter what he does, or if he manages the game, if he manages the game correctly, or he goes and balls out, and Debo and Ayuk and Kittle and McCaffrey are catching passes all over the field, Purdy's going to get that MVP. Now, my league MVP for this season, um, it's going to be Lamar Jackson. He's going to double it up. He's going to back to back it. Um, I had Aaron Rodgers, the ageless wonder, Aaron Rodgers coming in second. I had Pat Mahomes coming in third, and I had another breakout season from Tyreek Evans, uh, leading to a fourth place finish in the MVP voting. Um, Wide receivers and running backs hardly ever get MVPs in the NFL. It's a quarterback driven league, so give it up for Lamar. He gonna take it home again. He gonna do some more incredible stuff this year. By my estimation and judging it off of the stats from last season, um, he's gonna do some. If everybody in his receiving core and running back, Derrick Henry, if they all stay healthy, he's gonna do some amazing things on that football field, enough to take him to the Super Bowl, which will get him an MVP, another MVP for the year. Um, but Purdy could win it. Patrick Patrick Mahomes could take it over too. But I just feel like Lamar is going to, he gonna give it everything he got to get another MVP. That's just gonna make his Hall of Fame case that much stronger. If he does so. So once again, like I said, Super Bowl 59, Ravens versus 49ers. 49ers get the dub. Purdy gets the MVP. League MVP is gonna be Lamar Jackson. Um, and that's just the way I think the football season is gonna go. I could be right. I could be 100% wrong. But here we are. This is KB, Mr. Brown, whatever y'all want to call me. I'm not a hater on the Not a Hater podcast. I'm sharing my info with y'all. That proves to you I'm not hating. Uh, 49ers. Hope y'all do the thing this year. Cowboys. We got them Eagles all day long. Just talking a little trash, man. Just football, greatest time of the year when football season starts. I hope everybody, from Thursday to Sunday, I hope y'all get to enjoy the start of the season, and we go all the way through till February. So we'll revisit this, when we get to the playoffs and all that. I'll drop another episode talking about how well my picks actually went. But once again, I'm signing off. It's Mr. Brown from the I'm Not a Hater podcast. Peace and love.